Quick note here, since some of you are going to try to go all internet troll douchebaggy on me, Isis is the name of an ancient Greek and pagan goddess and is also a proper name. There are many women actually named Isis, probably named after the aforementioned Greek and or pagan goddess. The organization of terror that we will be discussing is actually called either ISIL or Daesh. The whole ISIS thing probably started because some fuckstick content editor at Fox News used to date a girl named Isis and probably got his deserving ass fucked over by her. This episode is about ISIL or Daesh. It's about shit nugget terrorists who need to die in a fire alone with no victims. Here's your brand new Damn Rant Show, folks. Greetings! I am E. Adam Thomas, and welcome to the inaugural episode of That Damn Rant Show. A show which will analyze and rate just about every damn thing you can think of, from politics, pop culture, current events, and mass media, to the horrendous stench of that viscous shit your mom thinks is perfume, and why she put it between her legs is anybody's guess. Whew. For my first show, I had a few ideas on what I wanted to tackle first, but let's be honest. Right now, nobody gives a flying fucking rolling kale tofu donut about the war on Christmas right now. And I had some really good material going on about about the whole Starbucks red cup bullshit thing, like some of these memes over here to my right. But then ISIL had to go all fuck nutty on us and start fucking with France. Again. It's like they're literally sitting here thinking, we will take down the infidels and make America pay for its... What? Oh, they have nukes? Huh. Fuck that shit. Let's go blow up Paris instead. Except that, well, France turned out to be not so much the white flag waving croissant obsessed surrender files that they were cracked up to be. Turns out, France went a little bit Rambo on some terrorist fudge caves there, and they sent a bunch of fighter jets over to Syria and bombed the fuck out of some strategic ISIL collateral. And French police have been raiding homes, businesses, and other potential locations where known ISIL sympathizers and agents were located, and, just basically tried to fuck their shit up. Which, of course, had two enormous impacts. First, every talk show monologue writer had to put away all of their France is a pussy stock punchlines for the foreseeable future. And ISIL itself has been reduced to, well, smiling smugly and twisting their little snidely whiplash mustaches in satisfaction. Make no mistake, this is what they want to have happen. If some of their members are apprehended or even killed, they consider it collateral damage, and they get to go off and see their 72 virgins or whatever. And these reactions, in their minds, justify their positions. I'm not saying that the French reacted incorrectly, at least not per se, but we're dealing with an enemy that thrives on knowing that they are having a derogatory effect on those they target. They're getting the idea that terrorism works, and we're all playing right into their hands. This goes doubly for the resistance against allowing Syrian refugees into the country. The Syrian people are the very folks ISIL wants to dominate. It's the ultimate rock and a hard place. We can't aggressively attack Syria for fear of killing innocent civilians. Those innocent civilians want out so that they're no longer targets. ISIL plants some of their members among the refugees. Everybody reacts by saying that the refugees can't come here. No. Be it the U.S., England, Greece, France, or wherever, the refugees ultimately have no choice but to stay home. As long as they do, ISIL suffers minimal damage and calls every fucking outhouse and tool shed a goddamn school or hospital, and makes anyone who tries to launch a strike against them look like bloodthirsty murderers. Even if we are legitimately hitting strategic targets, who's to say we aren't also murdering innocent men, women, and children? So what do? We can't glass their fucking ass because they're too spread out, and they're using the local populace as a mass of human shields. We can't just sit on our ass because then they get bored and start blowing shit up again to make their point and rile us up. The worst part is the paranoia that this bullshit is engendering is bringing out the worst of us. We've got politicians suggesting registries of Islamic practitioners, just like Nazi Germany did to the Jews in the 1930s. Our press is going apeshit with Islamophobia, and nobody has an answer. Most of us do want to be decent, caring human beings. Well, except for Angry Andy. But to do so invites vulnerabilities that can be exploited, and then you just have another 9/11 right around the corner. Maybe, just maybe it's time to give up on trying to be decent. Political correctness is just making things worse as we clumsily tap dance around everything like an elephant in a crystalline maze, causing more damage in the long run. We're so conflicted, we don't even know if we've been shot, fucked, pound, or burnt, or snake bit. And whatever progress we made in the 1960s through the 90s with civil rights and so forth has been shot to fucking hell. Racism has ended up getting worse in this country over the last 15 years because everybody is so angry and mistrustful of everybody. So, do we just sit here like some cartoonish caricature of Counselor Troy from Star Trek with our arms wide open and scream, "Please, just let us love you"? Yeah. Or do we go all Hiroshima on the whole region and agree that humanity is just a seething pile of fucking evil assholes, basically monkeys with money and guns, and just embrace our inner Sith? Everyone seems to be on this bizarre dichotomy between not wanting to offend everyone, but secretly despising everyone. I personally have gotten to the point where I don't even want to go out in public anymore because I don't want to deal with anybody who doesn't like Doctor Who or Pink Floyd. Seriously, it's gotten that petty. It's no longer about race or theology or ideology or anything like that. We all just fucking hate each other so much, all we want to do is fuck one another over at the slightest excuse. So what do we do about this? Do we sneak a couple of extra nukes over to France, maybe, and give them the codes and then just walk away whistling and saying, "I saw nothing, I saw nothing"? Or do we completely change the whole intellectual, spiritual, and emotional paradigm of the species, stand up and declare we are all brothers, and hope for the best? Well, here's the big answer. The big answer is, unfortunately, that all of the so-called enemies of ISIL and their other semi-affiliated terror organizations may just have to give up our white hats for a while. We may have to bow our heads in shame and take the blows history will inevitably throw at us and start smacking back at the source. If your town has a terror cell hiding in it, move out ASAP. ISIL, Al-Qaeda, and their ilk have no remorse over killing or allowing to be killed innocent civilians. They don't care how many children or old folks were in the World Trade Center or the Bataclan Theater. It's not like we could just ease tensions by sending every ISIL member a dozen Mamoul Bai Ajwa date cookies and a kitten. Although, come on, cookies and a kitten? How can you stay mad at anyone after they give you a gift like that? Delicious cookies? Sweet, cuddly kittens? World peace at your crumb-encrusted, kitten fur-covered fingertips. I'm allergic to cat. We'd do the same with Putin, but he'd probably just feed them all to his bear. Anyway, I guess we can all take some solace in the fact that Anonymous has now declared war on ISIL and have unleashed the dreaded Rickroll Protocol out upon them. No, this won't wipe them out, but if nothing else, it will annoy the unholy fuck out of them. In my humble, yet nonetheless correct opinion, ISIL is not about the Muslim faith, and this whole situation has nothing to do with religion, ideological differences, or oil. It's ultimately nothing more than a bunch of grown adults acting like spoiled fucking brats and pissing off another bunch of grown adults who are also acting like a bunch of spoiled fucking brats, which would be us. The only fucking thing that is going to fix this shit is for all the little people, all the citizenry, caught up in the middle of all this immature bullshit to finally get pissed off enough to go out and either figuratively or literally start brutally cock-punching all of these shit-slurping fucktards, be they terrorists or politicians, either with their votes or, if necessary, their actual fucking fists. Since most human beings are generally apathetic and cowardly, that means that we're in for a couple centuries more of spiritually elitist dumb fuckery. Yes, ISIL is our enemy. But the powers that be in so-called civilized nations are no less vile and moronic. And to top it off, we're liable to be talking about President Trump a year from now. Ain't that the fucking shit? Good night, folks, and enjoy your Thanksgiving leftovers. Angry Men Reviews. Many fucks said, no fucks given.
Dirty fuck!